I was sitting at my desk late one evening, staring at the blinking cursor of a half-written email. And it wasn't just any message, it was a response to a major opportunity, the kind of opportunity I had once dreamed about. And I can just tell you that my heart raced and my hands hovered over the keyboard, and then I clicked save as a draft. Again, and a voice inside me whispered, what if it's too much? What if I mess it up? What if you succeed and can't handle it? And that night I realized something really painful. I wasn't afraid of failing, I was afraid of what would happen if it would work out. And that moment was the beginning of my journey for self-sabotage. A journey I know many of us walk, often without even realizing it. So let's talk about it, because I think this topic is so important. So self-sabotage is when you consciously want something but unconsciously block yourself from receiving it. It's the invisible hand that pulls you back when you are about to leap forward. You delay the project, you ghost the message, you cancel the meeting, and you say you are tired, not ready, or just need more time. But deep down, it's not about laziness, it's about fear. And most often, a deep fear of failure. And even in my case, of success. So self-sabotage often stems from internalized beliefs formed early in life. Maybe you were told you had to be perfect to be loved. Maybe success felt unsafe in your home. Or maybe failing once made you swear to never try again. What really affected me was being bullied for doing really well in school. And over time, these beliefs become our subconscious programs that run in the background, quietly shaping how we show up in life. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. So when your actions don't align with your beliefs, your brain experiences discomfort and often pushes you back into familiar territory to avoid emotional risks. And here's a simple example. You want to speak on stage, you even rehearse in front of the mirror, but every time you get invited, you say no. Why? Because deep down you believe you will embarrass yourself, and that belief creates an emotional tension, and that tension is resolved through sabotage. So how do we break this pattern? Step number 1 is awareness. The first step is to really recognize the moments when you're getting in your own way. And then ask yourself, what am I afraid of that could happen if this actually worked out? Sometimes the answers really surprise us. Because success might mean more responsibility, and visibility might mean vulnerability. And this is where journaling really becomes so powerful, because writing helps us bring unconscious patterns into the light. And by identifying those fears, you reclaim your power to change them. So step number 2 is understand the root. Most of our self-sabotage patterns were not born from failure, but from protection. And at some point, a younger version of you learned that shrinking felt safer than shining. And this is where mental health allies like therapists, coaches, or even supportive friends come in. They help us explore these roots with compassion and perspective, because you don't have to navigate through this alone. And healing requires both courage and connection. Step number 3 is reframe your beliefs. So instead of saying, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what if I fly? And reframe your fear as a signal, not as a stop signal. It's not there to block you, it's there to show you where healing is needed. And in neuroscience, this process is called neuroplasticity because your brain can form new pathways through repeated thoughts and behaviors. And that means that you are not stuck, you are reviable. So start with small wins, celebrate your progress over perfection, and most importantly, speak kindly to yourself. Because self-sabotage often begins with inner criticism, and self-improvement begins with self-compassion. Step number 4 is address perfectionism. Because perfectionism is one of the most polished marks of self-sabotage. You tell yourself the project isn't ready, the website isn't perfect, or the timing isn't right. But often that's fear dressed up as a preparation. So remind yourself done is better than perfect, and imperfect action still moves you forward, and forward is where growth lives. And step number 5 and the last step is reconnect to your why. So when resistance creeps in, return to your purpose. Why did you start? What does this mean to you? And who will be impacted when you show up fully? Your why can really dissolve fear like sunshine through fog. And when your vision is stronger than your resistance, you become unstoppable. And I can just tell you that I've walked this path, and sometimes I still do, that I catch myself so fast. And I remind myself that fear is just a signal, not a verdict. And I surrounded myself with people, my kind of mental allies, who hold me accountable not just to the goals that I have, but to my growth. And if you're listening to this and thinking, this is me, I sabotage myself all the time, please know this: you are not broken, you're protecting yourself and something deep down. And protection is not a weakness, it's an invitation to listen deeper, to love deeper, and to lead yourself differently. So let's say this together: I'm safe to succeed. I'm allowed to shine, and I'm no longer afraid of my own power. Because when you release resistance, you will start to rise. And when you stop shrinking yourself, life expands around you. And never forget, you are remarkable. So let's grow together. Remarkabilize us and hit the subscribe button so you will never miss another episode about mental transformation and life's remarkable opportunities. All the best, your Alex.